But for instance, one of the things that we teach in our classes is something called wait at the door, which is fantastic. Wait at the door is probably one of the most useful things you can ever teach your dog. Basically what wait at the door is, it's if I open the door and the dog is on the side of the door, the dog should not go through the doorway until I tell them they can, until they're allowed to. The way we're going to use body blocks, and I'll just kind of show you without a dog, and then since Mindy's like dying to come up here and work, I'll show you with her. I would position myself between the dog and the door. So the dog's going to be here, the door's here. I'm going to say wait. Now initially when I'm teaching this, the dog has absolutely no idea what wait means. That would be like if somebody made up a word and said it to you. You know, it doesn't have any meaning at this point. So when I open the door, most dogs are going to try and barge through the doorway because that's what they do. People open the doors and I go through. That's just how the world works, right? So this is something brand new that we're teaching her. She doesn't know what I mean by it. So I'm going to say wait because that's the cue I'm teaching her. As she starts to barge through the doorway, I'm going to put myself between her and the open doorway. And I'm going to close the door a little bit and I might walk into her and push her away from the door. And then I'm going to open the door again. Now when I do this, I'm not going to repeat the word wait. I just want to say it one time because if you repeat cues, what can happen sometimes is that you might end up having to say wait 5 times before your dog actually responds to it. So I want to just say it one time so that she understands that wait means wait. You know, I don't have to repeat my cue to her. Every time she tries to go through the doorway, I'm going to step between her and the open doorway and block her from going through. If any of you watch soccer or hockey, it's kind of like the dog is the ball, that's the goal, and I'm the goalie. So that's how we're going to work it. Now the most important part about body blocks is that you're using it as a correction for the dog, but you are not using it to prevent the dog from going someplace. Ultimately, for them to get rewarded, you need to step out of the way with the weight at the door, have an open doorway, and have the dog remain on the side. Because if I say wait and I stand like this and the dog sits or something and then I say okay and step out of the way, all she's learned from that is that when that human's body is in my way, I can't do what I want. I want her to learn more than just that. I want to teach her that if I'm not in her way and she waits, that's when she gets the reinforcement. She has to make some good decisions here and she can't rely on me to make those decisions for her. So let me take them in here and show you what this looks like. Okay. Mindy, wait. So she's kind of leaning forward a little bit, which tells me she's thinking about going through. So I'm doing these body blocks. Okay. Good girl. So she did something I see in a lot of labs. I did the body blocks, I stepped out the way, and then she was like, well, if I can't go through the doorway, I'll go see what I can do over here. I see that with a lot of labs. I don't know what it is about labs, but that's just something a lot of them seem to do. I don't mind that she decided to go do something else over here. What I wanted from her was for her to not go through the doorway when I moved out of her way. And we accomplished that. So even though she decided to check out the floor and sniff over here, that's fine. I took that as a response to my wait cue. And her reinforcement was, I said, okay, I let her go through the doorway. So I love wait at the door for a number of reasons. First of all, it's really handy. I use it when I open the car door and I want to get leashes on my dogs before they jump out of the car. I've got a 2-story house, I've got 3 dogs. I will tell my dogs wait if they're all at the top of the stairs and I'm going down. They wait at the top of the stairs, I go down, and then I say okay, and the 3 of them can come down without killing me. I use it if I'm walking my dogs and we come to an intersection. I want to cross the road, I'll say wait, and then look both ways and cross with my dog. I'll use it if I just want to take the garbage out. I don't need 3 dogs who I want me to take the garbage out. Now, the question I get a lot is what's the difference between wait and stay? Stay is a specific position in a specific place. So if I told her sit, stay, and she was like right here, she should be in that sit, stay until I released her. What if you're taking the garbage out and you say, sit, stay, you leave the house, and you come back 10 minutes later, do you think she's going to be in the stay right here? No. So wait at the door is nice because it just means don't cross this threshold or this barrier that I'm kind of indicating. The other nice thing about wait is that they pick this up so quickly. If you start working on wait and you're consistent with it, you can ask for a wait and not do the body blocks after probably 2 or 3 days. So it's not like with a lot of other things where you have to practice before you can use it in real life. Wait at the door becomes valuable and something that you can incorporate into your routine almost immediately. Mindy, wait. So there's a little bit of a body block there. Okay. And she did a really nice job that time. Now, it's not always that easy. She was really an easy dog to work with. She responded pretty quickly. The younger dogs and even the smaller dogs can be a little bit more challenging. Sometimes you have to do body blocks for minutes on end. Let me take Meg. I'll see if she's a little bit more difficult. So I don't want you to look at the work I did with Mindy and say, oh, that was easy, I'll try it with my dog at home, and then your dog at home is a little bit more difficult because sometimes you have to work harder to get that response. Meg, wait. Okay. Have you been working on this with her? Many times it does not go that smoothly. You have to work. Now, the nice thing about body blocks is that you don't need to use a leash. A lot of times people teach weight and they're pulling the dog back with a leash. You should be able to do body blocks without having a leash on the dog. And this becomes really important because what happens if you need your dog to wait at the door, you don't have a leash on them? They might not respond the same way that they do when they're on leash. That's one more cue that you kind of have to get rid of. So a lot of times when I have people in class, I'll tell them, work on this as much as possible with your dog off leash so that they will respond whether they're on leash or not.